So my initial video was "Where is BB?" Part 1. And if you look at the thumbnails, a picture of Netanyahu with the Ayatollah and Jesus, Star of David. That was my thumbnail. Ever since that video, people have been sending me clips because they're trying to prove me wrong and fact check me, but they have not been able to successfully do it. There were strikes on Netanyahu's compound on the 3rd of March. Today is now the 15th. 12 days later, and no live footage of Netanyahu speaking where you can see today's date, talking about current events. The last video they showed us, besides the one I'm going to play it, is Netanyahu speaking, and then you hear the air raid sirens in the back. That video was shown to us 3 days ago. I believe it was pre-recorded the night they were hit. That might have been the night that he was gravely injured or he was deleted. He might already have passed away. Now, they've confirmed that his brother has died, but we're trying to get confirmation about Netanyahu. They're thinking today, the 15th of March, 2026, there will be confirmation. The Iranians have been extremely successful with their strikes. This is, people keep saying, Rico, how can you be an America first patriot, but you're cheering that we lose this war against Iran? And the only reason is because us losing this war is the best thing that can make America great again. America constantly attacking other countries on behalf of Israel is not making America great. It's not making us safe. It's not even making us money. It's making us a target, and it is putting us in a very bad position geopolitically. Right now, we're attacking Iran on behalf of Israel, but we are in direct control by Israel. Losing this fight against Iran means Israel loses. We want that control to be over. And also, just like in real life, when a bully or someone who's undefeated, once they actually lose a fight, they become a little bit more hesitant and reluctant to pick fights and lose them again, because now they understand that, well, they can underestimate an enemy and that can cost them everything. So someone sent me a video this morning and they said, Rico, this is proof Netanyahu is alive. And this is the video they sent me. Let's take a look.
Fantastic. אתה רוצה לספור את מספר אצבעות?
אתה יכול להראות לנו?
פה. פה. היית?
תמל.
לחיים.
אני חושב של המסר לאנשים שיוצאים ומתאווררים.
לצאת להתאוורר, אבל ליד מרחב מוגן. והעמידה שלכם היא...
First things I'm noticing is people keep mentioning the liquid in the cup. It's not moving. I'll be honest with you, that restaurant that they're in, I don't know the location. It looks extremely well manicured. It looks like a very nice place, very nice aesthetics. It looks fake. It looks like this is a AI generated video. Now, there can be a man who is actually standing there, but they're superimposing Netanyahu's face on top of someone else. It doesn't appear. We're getting a lot of people back and forth that are saying this is an AI fake video. I don't know where in Israel right now is going to have a calm, quiet, safe cafe that looks like this right now. And apparently this is a video that's supposed to prove he's still alive as of this morning. I'm not buying it. I'm just not.
מדהימה, נותנת כוח לי, לממשלה, לצה"ל, למוסד, אנחנו עושים...
Second thing I'm noticing, why is the camera only zoomed in on his mouth? Who the hell is this cameraman and why haven't you fired him? Who's this guy in the background? Where do they, that doesn't look like a regular guy that works in a cafe. Excuse me, it just seems staged. It seems like it's fake. Also, he puts up his hands. He doesn't say today's date. There's nothing indicating this is from today. So everything is questionable. None of this is for sure. So no, this is not smoking gun proof that BB is still alive. Where's BB? He is the commander in chief. He is basically the equivalent of Trump in Israel. These are his wars. This was his attack. He's supposed to be out reassuring the Jewish people that everything is good, that we're winning, that we will be able to triumph. And he's supposed to remind them that all the damage is going to be repaired, that we're going to be safe. This is a threat. He's the figurehead. He's the spokesperson. But instead, Israel keeps showing us a dozen other Israelis that we've never seen on television, we've never heard of, and we don't need to hear from them. Fuck them. We want to hear from Bibi. He's the one who drug us into this. The way he drug us into Afghanistan, Syria, Iraq, Libya, the way he manipulated us into thinking that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. Don't forget, we went in because of him after 9/11. He was the one that said Israel didn't blow up the towers. Saddam Hussein did with some Saudi terrorists, and he's in a cave. But he's in a cave in Afghanistan. However, if you really want to get him, you got to hit Iraq. None of it made sense even back then. It doesn't make sense now, but it was Bibi. The same way he came out and announced that he had nothing to do with Charlie Kirk being killed. Why? Why are you even announcing that? It's because if we want peace on earth, this is our fastest route there. Do you know how many people around the world are begging that this is true, that Netanyahu is dead? I'll be honest. I would say roughly over north of 90% of our foreign entanglements that end up in a conflict are behind Israel. All of our conflicts in the Middle East are behind Israel. We almost went to war with Russia. We found out it was Israel also involved in that equation. All of this is because we're protecting Israel from the World Economic Forum. The globalists want to wipe the Zionists off the map. America's in the way. So what does that mean? If they have to get through America to get to Israel, then they're saying so be it. Okay, so what does that mean about us Americans? We don't want to be in the middle. We are not trying to die or spend our treasure and our blood protecting Israel. There's no benefit for us. We have 190. How many different countries are in Asia or in Africa or in there's other places in the world. Look, I'd rather America spill blood protecting Colombia because at least they have beautiful women, music, and there's a net positive for the Americans when we go down there. I don't know what benefit we have in Israel. It does us no good. They're all about themselves. There's nothing about us. When our soldiers are injured in Afghanistan fighting, we couldn't even airlift them to Tel Aviv, to an hour away. We had to send them to Ramstein, 8 hours away, because they would not allow the American GIs in Israel. If our ships were attacked, we could not pull into a port in Haifa. We couldn't pull into a port in Israel to repair our ships. We would have to reroute them to the Philippines or something, because Israel's not really an ally. They're using us. If we want peace on earth, this has to come true. But in order for this to be true, we have to lose. Netanyahu dying would be it ultimately will signal the end of this conflict. So what they're saying is now we're flying all these planes. We're saying that we have everything ready to drop nukes. Newsflash. There are no nukes. It's make-believe. There was no nuclear bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The same firebomb they dropped on Dresden, Germany, where people didn't really die from being on fire. They died from suffocation. That's how powerful those firebombs were, that it literally sucked all of the oxygen out of the area and people died of suffocation. That's the kind of bombs they dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. There was no radioactive isotopes. There was no infertility for years where you couldn't even drink the water. Those cities were rebuilt in like 5 years. Look it up. It didn't affect the birth rate or anything. The capabilities that they're trying to tell you, those mushroom clouds, the reason you're so afraid of that is because of the movie The Terminator. It's not real. We have psychos and pedophiles running the world for the last, 100 years. No one's used them against each other because there are none. At the end of the day, we're all going to just use bombs and guns and we're basically throwing sticks and stones. There are no nukes. So that whole deterrent situation, if Israel had them, they would have used them. If we've had them, we would have used them. The same for the Russians, for everybody. Anybody, if North Korea had them, they would use them. The problem is, if you invade one of these countries that claim to have them and they don't use it, it can expose the scam that the other countries. So they're all in cahoots. Iran is not in cahoots. And if they can't get Iran to get on board with the scam and the lie that nukes are real, well, then, how are you going to, now you can expose everything. The same way these countries who pretend to be at war with each other, yet we magically all respect the Antarctic Treaty, but yet we pretend like it's the same thing. The problem is with Bibi Netanyahu, his thirst for blood and greed and for the greater Israel, concept, it comes at the expense of the people who we hate. They hate the Goyim. We are the Goyim. None of us are one of them. I'll be honest, I don't have a high Jewish bunch of people from Israel watching me. They don't like my content, and that's fine. They don't have to. I'm not trying to appeal to them. I'm an America first, Americans only type of person. Do I have friends in other parts of the world that they send me, my friends in Australia and France, they send me articles and things to talk about because in their country, they're not allowed to speak about them unless they want to get a knock on the door and go to jail. The stuff that I'm speaking of, if you even mumbled it in the UK, you would go to jail. We don't have anything ideologically in common with Europe anymore or Australia. Those countries are gone. They've all fallen to the globalists, and they're all fighting the Zionists as well. So it's a lose-lose for us. Anyway, we're in the middle. I just want America to be controlled by Americans. I want us to protect our sovereignty. The rest of the world is already folded. They folded when they gave up their guns. We haven't done that. We're not going to do that. We're going to fight to the very end. We're going to fight to the very end to protect our freedom because that is a signal of our independence. There's a lot of people who don't understand what that means. It means self-governance, self-determination, not some outside body or board in a country 5,000 miles away dictating what's going to happen with Americans and to Americans. I can't trust it because every time I look up, these people are trying to come up with different ways to poison Americans and kill Americans and get us to kill ourselves. I'm looking to keep us stable and to go into the future. And I used to think that everybody had something called foresight. Apparently, everybody does not. So people like me will come forward and we'll use our ability to tell you guys the future. In the future, if we do want an everlasting, at least world cooperation where the Board of Peace can be meaningful for at least 10 to 15 years of minimal to zero conflict, then we have to lose in Iran. We have to get out of the Middle East. And Netanyahu must not make it because he's going to continue to keep us fighting. You know, it's crazy. Growing up, I had a cousin like Netanyahu. He would go behind my back and my other cousins. He would go behind our backs and he'd befriend our friends. And he would tell them, oh, yeah, you know, such and such is my cousin, such and such is my brother. And they'll think, oh, well, those are good people. So you must be good people. And they'll do favors for him. They'll loan him money. They'll do business deals and say, oh, let's do an event. And my cousin would rob and steal from all of them. Then they were looking for my cousin to fight him. And then when they can't find him, now they're calling us and they're mad at us. They think that we're in on it. So now, because he's our relative, we have to defend him and fight for him and get into conflict for him, even though there's no benefit for us. We had nothing to do with it. But he's always getting us into trouble. My family has known peace ever since that cousin of mine that I'm speaking of was arrested and he's been in prison since like 2011. My family finally has had peace ever since then. But now they're talking about letting them out. So we're like, fuck, back to the drawing board. But in this situation, there is no letting Bibi Netanyahu out. There is no return. And there's never going to be a hard line, maniacal person like Netanyahu that's ever going to. There's going to be people that are going to try. But there's something about Netanyahu. Maybe it's his longevity, how long he's been around. But there's something unique about this person. He has an Epsteinish type vibe to him which means he's extremely dangerous and manipulative. Once he's no longer in the picture, the possibility for peace on earth is right in front of us. We're this close. And I hate to say, oh yeah, millions, billions of people are affected by one or two people, but then look at Trump and then look at Netanyahu. Yes, certain people do have a bigger role to play on a world stage. Netanyahu he's not a friend of Trump. He's never liked Trump. And like Trump's been saying this whole time, these people, Netanyahu and his people, they hate us. They're coming after us. Trump's just in the way. I believe he's been sabotaging Trump, and that's why these wars and these situations get started. He's trying to embarrass Trump. He's an enemy of Trump. He's an enemy of America first, because then that removes any room for Israel to be a priority. Because if you're an America first, America only, well, then how are you going to make Israel first? What's Ben Shapiro going to do if we're not putting Israel first in our cabinet, in our Congress? Seeing a foreigner get a standing ovation in front of our elected officials fucking disgusts me. It means you're putting other people as a higher priority, because Americans walk in that building every day. You don't clap for us. Again, this video, it's not real. It seems like it's an advance and they're hyperimposing his image onto another person. This isn't Bibi. And he would not be calm. Your cities are being, have you not seen the footage coming in from Israel right now? They are being fucking hammered, destroyed every night. There is no more stopping the missiles. It's to the point where they're arresting people who are sharing the footage, and I'm watching it. I'm going to share a video for you guys in a second of they're saying it's the video of Benjamin Netanyahu in a white blanket being carried away from a blast site. And everybody's going to start saying that he's dead probably today. I've been saying it for a week, but that's why I'm doing a part 2 as a follow-up so you guys can understand where we really are. Again, we'll watch a couple more seconds of this video and then we'll go to the next one.
דברים שאני לא יכול לשתף ברגע זה, אבל עושים דברים מכים באיראן חזק מאוד גם ביום הזה, גם בלבנון, ממשיכים. אתם אומרים לי להמשיך, אני אומר לכולכם, גם אתם תמשיכו. תמשיכו להישמע.
So this guy's doing a pre-recorded fucking commercial for this bar. I don't need to speak Yiddish to know bullshit when I hear it. Now, this is a French colonel who says Netanyahu is dead.
J'espère que vous allez bien. Je suis Pascal Tréfingui, le colonel Pascal Tréfingui. Je suis le chef du gouvernement royal militaire en exil au Brésil, formé à la demande de Sa Majesté le roi Henri V de la Croix, sacré le 29 mars 2025 à Meaux, en France. Notre gouvernement existe depuis décembre 2024. Il est en contact principalement avec les royautés, mais je vous informe ce soir, et de sources militaires, que notre gouvernement confirme la mort de Benjamin Netanyahu, qui a été éliminé par un soldat du Fatah à l'islam. Vous savez que mon grand-père est palestinien, et c'est une grande joie pour moi de savoir que ce criminel contre l'humanité, et peut-être bientôt tous les gens de cette ethnie.
So apparently they're saying that he would have died on the 11th. So when we seen that his plane was in Germany, that's going to be the closest American grade hospital you're going to find in the entire region. You're going to have to fly into Kaiserslautern or Ramstein, and Netanyahu's plane was seen in Germany. Now, why he couldn't go to Cyprus? But there were other places he could have went. But Germany in particular is good because they have American medical facilities. And apparently he was gravely injured, or he has passed away. So they're saying that this is also going to be announced on the 15th. Algerie. So that would be Montenegro. So that's today. And and this is on the Stu Peters channel. The reason I like Stu Peters is because he was the first person that platformed Dr. Her name, Carrie Madej. She was the first person that was doing the inspections of the vaccine vials after they injected into people. She's the one that discovered that the thing that they're calling the Hydra, that Hydra vulgaris. It's like the eggs were hatching, and then after about a month, you can see it in the net with your naked eye floating around, and it's this thing with tentacles, and essentially that's what's being injected into the people. And also there was like some kind of electronic circuitry technology on a liquid size scale, and we don't have the technology for that. We don't. There is no father of nanotechnology that we can trace and say, yeah, this human invented a machine that can produce tiny machines that can do these terms. There's no such thing. We don't have that technology. It's science fiction. It's theoretical, but we don't have it, and we don't know where it comes from. We just know that it's there. We don't even know where. We know these injections weren't created during warp speed. We know they were around as early as 2010, and they were trying to give this injection to everybody on Earth using the swine flu. They just didn't have the infrastructure to pull it off. That was all talked about on people like Stu Peters' show, but he's kicked off of YouTube. He's only on Rumble. He's only on certain platforms. So you're going to hear a perspective and from people that are also banned that you're not going to hear from. This is a French military person saying that Netanyahu is also dead. And I don't know, me and Alex Jones haven't been on the same page lately, but we'll listen to him for a second. He does not agree that we should be celebrating the report. We shouldn't be celebrating Netanyahu's death. However, Alex Jones took money from Netanyahu and his government to slam Candace Owens. Because of that, I really can't take anything what Alex Jones says with more than a grain of salt. Remember, during the pandemic, it was Alex Jones and David Icke that saved humanity. You might not understand this, but they're the ones who were able to explain that there was no virus in the first week. So that removed the fear from a lot of us who follow and listen to his channel. And this gave us guidance on how to react, how to behave, how to move, and how to survive when they were putting pressure on everyone to go out and take a injection that essentially will give you a heart attack or cancer in a few years. It was time delayed. Alex Jones and David Icke saved millions, but at the same time, they figured out ways to destroy both of them financially. Alex Jones this week is having InfoWars sewn off. They're doing the fake auctions, but it doesn't matter. You're just a guy talking on the internet. You don't need a big studio. You don't need all that. You just need a phone. I don't have I'm using my guest room. I'm using one of my extra bedrooms in one of my houses. I don't need a full studio to sit here and talk to people. Take it all away. I can still afford a phone and a microphone. And then what do? You're fucked. I can still talk. And that's all it takes. But I did see that Alex Jones took money and out of the blue went after Candace Owens, who's been speaking out against the Netanyahu regime. So yeah, for him, if Netanyahu goes away, then his deal might be in jeopardy and he might not get paid anymore. And you understand, when it comes to money, everybody doesn't have a business and then they do this on the side. No, for a lot of these creators, this is their business. This is their source of income. They cannot afford to lose it. And they got to do what they can to keep it because this is all they have going on. This is why, I do a lot of videos every day, but I also have a business of my own to run. I have work, and I have other stuff to do. But these other people, they don't. So they depend on this. So I understand. I'm not going to say I agree with why he took it, but because of that, I really can't take anything he says too seriously. But we'll listen to him for a second just to show a little bit of transparency from the other side.
An Iranian strike on their command base in Tel Aviv. Now, they put out a video last night that does look AI. I mean, it looks fake to me. It might be bad compression, who knows, with Netanyahu alive. But an Indian reporter got arrested today for yesterday shooting footage out there at the bombing site in Tel Aviv with Netanyahu serving it. I think Benjamin Netanyahu is probably alive. But regardless, I hope he has not been killed. And those of you out there celebrating the idea that he has been killed, use your brains. Netanyahu is a criminal in my view, very corrupt. 50% approval rating, uses words.
You see what I mean? This is a double-minded man. There's no way you can say he's a criminal, give his entire rap sheet about why he's evil, Alex Jones was one of the first people that explained to us how it was Israel behind 9/11 that hit us. All these years, he's been speaking out against Israel and Netanyahu, but now all of a sudden we shouldn't celebrate. He's double-minded. You can't have it both ways. You can't want to protect criminals, but then hate criminals. You got to pick one, Alex. And this is why he's becoming inconsistent. And this is what makes us question his judgment now.
In power. But if he actually gets killed, it makes him a martyr. Killing the mullah only unified the Iranians against us.
Man, will you shut the fuck up? Don't you dare compare Netanyahu, a fucking war criminal maniac scammer who basically created a new identity. His last name's not even Netanyahu. His family's from Germany or Europe or some shit. They're not even actually from that region at all. If you do a DNA test on his blood, it's going to say Russia, not going to say the Middle East. He's not any of the sin. This man is a psychopath. Did you guys all forget what just happened in Gaza? That wasn't that long ago. But imagine surviving all of that, seeing what they did to your home, and then you could just look in the sky 3 miles away and see that somebody else is doing the exact same thing to them in their homes. See, this is one of the first times we can say that when this is over, Palestine will be free. They're not going to have the capability or the infrastructure to keep them imprisoned. And yes, it is a prison. Nobody's allowed in. Nobody's allowed out. They control the calorie intake. Do you think Israel has the capability now to disperse food and water? And they're not going to be able to when this is over. We've all been calling for Palestine to be free because we're humans. We see other humans in an open air concentration camp. They're enslaved. They're not allowed to move freely. No human rights. We see it in real life in our day and age, the year of our Lord, 2026, still happening. We feel some type of way about it. We feel some type of way about the stories of the Uyghurs in China, and there's way less proof that that's even real. We actually see what's going on in Gaza. We don't know what's going on in the mountains outside of, Qingpui. And I don't know what the fuck's going on in China. We hear stories, rumors. But when it comes to Gaza, it was real. We watched the footage on X. I'm on X right now. So it's a big difference. And when you find out that Genesis, the source of it, the head of the snake, is a man named Netanyahu, there's no way you cannot celebrate the possible news of his demise. And he hasn't been public or live since. Even if he survived, he's alive. He can just get a camera phone and hey, his big BB. Man, it's a good day today on the 15th. The sun's out. I'm having a good He's not making any live videos. There's nothing to prove it. And he's their figurehead. Bro, you see how much of a camera whore Trump is. If we didn't see Trump for 4 days in a row, what would you think? You'd swear Trump was dead. And you'd be right, because there's no way a man who loves a camera as much as Trump is not going to be on here boasting about how amazing we're doing when we're not. Netanyahu needs to give the Israelis as much reassurance as possible, and he's not there to do it. So where's Bibi? But I was wrong when I made a video a week ago, saying, hey, I think he's dead. All signs are showing that there's no proof of life. And I study the behavior of these people. This is a change in their pattern. People are creatures of habit. This is not, Netanyahu's not he's not an artist where he comes out with an album, then he disappears for 3 years, and then he pops back out with a new album. He's literally the guy that took us into war. He's supposed to go to prison, but the wars are keeping him out of jail. His wife and kid are in Miami right now, and he's supposed to be in Israel holding it down, but he's MIA. And I'm not talking where the Heat play at in Southern Florida. He's missing in action. And Alex Jones, double-minded, is saying we shouldn't hope that he's dead. Fuck out of here, Alex.
Trump getting shot. Crazy year. Made Trump more popular. This is just stupid.
It did not make Trump more popular. Trump putting his fist in the air and saying fight and surviving an assassination attempt. I'll be honest. It looked good, but there is nobody who hated Trump before that started to like him after. This country is divided. The people that hate Trump are afraid of Trump. They're afraid of what Trump represents. The people that I've met that hate Trump is because of Trump represents law enforcement. He represents masculinity. There's a lot. We have a huge problem with gays right now in this country. And the pedophiles want to be protected under the LGBTQP umbrella, where the gays will see their sexual orientation towards kids as a lifestyle and not as a crime. They want to be a part of that group. They're fighting for that right now. Trump's in the way. Senate Bill 145, it passed in California, where now when they catch sexual predators having sex with kids and harming kids, you don't even got to register as a sex offender. They got laws to protect pedophiles. That was starting to be, it passed in California, 2019 under Gavin Newsom. It started making its way east. Charlie Kirk started talking out about it. So did Trump. Ever since then, all the gays turned on them. We have a huge problem with that. There's nobody who's gay, saw Trump almost die, and then they said, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I want to see Trump in office because I might go to jail now. That's what happens. Trump being in office, it becomes a crime for you to mess with children. Under the Biden administration, they were letting people go. They were turning a blind eye to it. They started passing laws where what they do is they muddy the waters. Well, yeah, the kid's 8 years old, but and the man who's molesting him is 50. But tell me, is the kid gay? Oh wow, now it's a little bit trickier. You know, the kid says he's gay, and then the man is gay, and it's kind of a weird situation. And that's how they were. The confusion is how they were starting to slide all. It started happening under the Biden administration. Trump pushed it back. So no, Trump didn't gain that many new fans or he couldn't. These are people that are trying to stay out of jail. They couldn't like Trump if they wanted to, because that means the end of them. And everybody's basically trying to have a self-preservation. So that's why I disagree with Alex Jones about that.
This is insane. So I see all these people celebrating Netanyahu, ding dong, the witch is dead, the witch, oh witch, the witch, ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. Probably not even true. But regardless, you understand that Netanyahu, compared to the rest of the Knesset now, is a moderate. And I'm not defending it. But some people will say, take out Putin. He is a moderate compared to hardliners. So think second, third, fourth order repercussions out of this. And when Netanyahu pops up tomorrow night for some press conference, just remember that the Iranians engage in propaganda too.
Okay, the question is this. Why do we have to wait? If we are fighting a war because Netanyahu told us to, which he did, he should be talking to Americans and Israelis every day. Why do you got to just pop out? What are you afraid of? You should be doing constant updates. You're safe. You're alive. Why even leave it up to people to speculate on your safety? You should be reassuring everyone that you're still here. So that's what that tells me, that something is wrong. Apparently he's popping out in these press conferences alone. It's not like there's somebody else there who is a person that can confirm, yeah, this is today and we're alive. This is not happening. They're just showing you pre-recorded old footage. You don't even know. Some of this footage is probably from back in June of last year when he could have died, but he was still alive and Israel was relatively intact. Their cities are being hammered as I'm speaking right now. They are raining ballistic missiles, cluster bombs, hypersonics. They are being fucking destroyed. You're not even allowed to share the footage of what's happening in Israel right now. You can't share it, or they're looking to sentence you to like 5 years in jail. The only time I've ever seen that happen was in the Ukraine. They started arresting citizens when the Russians found where they were storing their uranium for those dirty bombs they were going to hit Moscow with. Yeah, the Russians found out about them, and they were in the eastern part of Ukraine. They were in the west. The Russians found out where they were. They hit a depot, and a massive, monstrous chemical cloud went up, poisoned the western part of the Ukraine, which is where Kiev is, Odessa, poisoned them. Where all, instead of the radioactive material hitting the Russians, it blew up in their own faces. There were kids and there were people that were sharing the footage. They were arrested because they don't want you to know what's really happening. They don't want you to know they're losing. They don't want you to know this war is already lost. The fact that the Iranians are still shooting 14 days in and we can't stop them, that means this war is already over. All the tough talk is cheap. Do it. Why are we on here talking about, oh yeah, this is, just do it? Why do you don't have to talk, but you talk when you can't show. We've already lost these wars and now everybody's trying to convince us that Bibi's alive. Fuck, don't convince me of nothing. I don't want to hear you talk. Show me. Show me.
And
obviously, what else he said?
The first casualty of war is true. But the world-class flyers have been the Israelis so far. They drug us in this war. No matter how you slice, we shouldn't have a foreign power controlling our foreign policy.
See, and then he tells the truth for 5 seconds, and then he has to go back to covering for them because they're paying him.
While we talk about criminal referrals to arrest Tucker Carlson from the CIA because he interviews Iranians, that's not being a foreign agent. Having APAC run our foreign policy is, and try to censor Americans. This is my final report of the evening. More coming tomorrow on Sunday. Be sure and follow us right here on X at Real Alex Jones and at AJN Live, the network backup, and on Humble, the Alex Jones Show.
See, now people like myself, big fan of Alex Jones most of my life. Started watching him probably 2008. And that's when he brought on David Icke and I started talking about the moon matrix and why the moon is where it is and how it's probably a base. And that we've been in touch with these reptilians who sat all the royal families around the world. And these reptilians control us. And it's like all these different things that were coming out. They sounded crazy a long time ago. But every day going forward, they make more and more sense. So no, I'm a big fan. I used to be a big fan of Jones. Seeing that he sold out to the Zionists and started taking their money to go after people like Candace Owens, that means he's for sale. Because he does need the money. He's a man with a family. People like me are coming in and we're doing content to kind of replace people like Alex, people like Tim. That's the goal because we're not paid to say this. We're just looking at the evidence that's presented. We're saying it, but we're also explaining how we got to this point. We're not just throwing stuff out there and then not talking about it. We're here to have these conversations. If you appreciate the work and you want to have these conversations, subscribe to the channel, like the video. Like they always say, it pushes me into the algorithm. I don't know if that's true. I have no fucking clue. I know a lot of people watch the videos and I'm getting more and more traction. But you know, so anyway, any press is good press. If you guys are here and you're watching this, if you can, come over to X, Rico Limbaugh. We're on 8 different platforms right now. So I'm going to start going through the comments and the super chats. But again, this is something that everybody, it seems like the people on TV are trying to convince you Bibi's alive. Why do they care if we believe it or not? If he's alive, he's alive. Just show him. Why do you keep trying to manipulate me and tell me that he's alive? Why don't you just show me? And you keep showing me these pre-recorded videos of him talking by himself, not him at a facility, not him with Trump today wearing the same tie that Trump wore this morning in an interview. None of this is actual proof. It's just speculation. And I guess everybody's afraid of being wrong. See, I'm questioning it. I'm not saying it's definite. I'm saying all roads lead to he's already expired. His plane's in Germany. His brother's dead. His house is destroyed. Offices destroyed. The bunkers have been destroyed with people in them and no one's reporting it. American planes are being shot down. American troops are dead, but they're flying them to other countries so that the deaths are not being counted from this conflict. I hate to say it because I'm a Trump supporter. I'm wearing a Trump hat. But Hegseth is lying to us to save face. They're embarrassed. We should be all embarrassed. I'm a Trump guy. I love what he's doing with ICE. I love what he's doing with our foreign, as far as getting rid of the illegals. fighting the fraud in this country, making sure you need an identification to vote to reduce or get rid of the fraud. I love it. I'm watching the rents go down. I'm watching the crime rates go down. I was just in Mexico I just got back from Mexico. I was on vacation. I still went. I was in Rocky Point. And I'll be honest, it's not bad enough for all these people to be fucking kicking and screaming about deportation. It's not a horrible place. Matter of fact, if more of them would stay in Mexico, they could build the roads. They could fix the fucking country. It's a beautiful, big country. You don't need to come, all this kicking and screaming just to live in Compton. You guys are really that fucking pressed to live in the ghetto in America? You might as well just live in the ghettos in Mexico and build the country up. California is the fourth largest economy in the world. Mexico's number 6. It's not it's not a poor place that you need an asylum away from. What the hell? I'm sick of the scams. But anyways, I appreciate what Trump's doing for our domestic policy. I just wish he would have just focused on America first and America only. Stop going around the world. We dropped the conflict in the Ukraine. Why are you picking up one against Iran? And then we lose the world. I don't care what Trump and the hex that they're saying. The world is watching us lose. China watched us lose. North Korea watched us lose. The Russians watched us lose. We lost. Now we're sending 2,500 black kids. A lot of gays and a lot of black kids are sending them to the front lines knowing they're going to get wiped. The only reason the military is doing that is because they want to get rid of the communists and the Marxists that are in their ranks. That's it. And that ideology, you can't vote it out. You can't convince, you can't send them to therapy. A person who's a born Marxist, a born communist, a born victim, they're never going to change. You're going to have to send them into somewhere, and that has to die with them. That's where that idea, that mentality goes. People that hate the country, people who don't want to work, people who want to push that ideology. It's something that has to be purged. You can't really you can't talk somebody out of it. So they're sending them over there, pointless. This war is already over. The best thing we can do is the same thing Obama did, offer to send money to Iran to stop them from destroying the oil fields. The problem is we hit their oil field and they said we're going to destroy all the oil fields in the Middle East. The silver lining is the world in Asian countries, in India, they're all going to have to buy oil from either the Americans or the Russians. So that's good for us, I guess. But it's like, at what expense? But then again, do the people in the Middle East really, are they concerned about America? No. They said they're going to pull back their investments anyway, but all their oil fields are being destroyed, and that works in the favor of the United States because now we're back selling oil. We got Venezuela. So, I mean, it does work out for us in the end, but at what expense? I just wish Trump would have just focused on America. These foreign entanglements, we were warned about them 100 years ago. So, and here we are still in them. Bibi Netanyahu would be the end of our foreign entanglements. So this is why we should be hoping that this is true. This is some footage from Tel Aviv, from China and Russian intelligence. There's somebody right there being pulled away. And this is as of 12 hours ago. They're saying that one of these blankets, one of these white blankets, is likely Benjamin Netanyahu. There is a lot of police and officials around that one body. And it seems a little suspicious, but they're saying that is Netanyahu's house, and there were multiple casualties reported. But everybody's trying to convince me he's still alive. And this is the AI fake video that we're all saying just looks weird. Look at what Israel looks like in this video. What part of Israel is this? Calm and peaceful and nice, and people are just getting their baguettes and their caramel latte, Hamas macchiatos, or I don't know. They put hummus in their lattes. I don't know, but what part? Where is he at? And they're trying to say this is him showing that he's alive. I don't buy it. I think it's bullshit.
אני מת על קפה, אתה יודע מה? אני מת על העם שלי. איך הם מתנהגים, פנטסטי.
He's doing an ad read. Why? Your people are being blown to shit, and you're trying to speak to me about why we should buy the light roast instead of your dark roast with hummus and sandal juice. It doesn't make it doesn't. I don't think he's still here. But you got Alex Jones coming on the internet to tell us that he should be, or that he is. And people are noticing the cup, the liquid is not spilling out. It's weird. It's weird. And they're calling it Coffeegate. And they're saying that he's trying to show this video showing he's not dead yet. Well, then why are you using a fake AI video where you're showing your hands? Like, what is this? What is all this bullshit? A video of Israeli shoulders. Yeah, they're doing the raping stuff. Netanyahu's death confirmed, but this is from the Iran Times. But this is not just Iran; it's a lot of people saying this. So this is China. This is a Chinese station that's in English, and they're reporting this
right now in one of the locations that was attacked.
Now you're not going to see this on CNN. You're not going to see this on Fox News. You're not going to see this on MSNBC. You're here with Rico Limbaugh. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitch. I'm on X, Twitter right now. I'm on like 8 different platforms. Subscribe to my channel if you can. Come over to the YouTube. That way you can hit the button. The bell. You can stay up to date because I do a lot of these episodes every day. I do like thousands of short videos. So I have tons of content for you to watch. And we go over politics mainly. There are some, we do a lot of domestic stuff also. We go over the culture war, but we're really heavily pushing back on the gay agenda, the perversion of children, sexualizing kids. We push back on all the trans bullshit, all the fake brainwashing that wants to change the fabric of what and who America is. We're fighting back against that one day at a time. So if you want to join that fight, if you want to watch the fight, if you want to participate, subscribe. You don't have to send any money. You don't have to do any donations. Follow the channel, like the videos, subscribe, and just stay on board. We all should hope that he is gone because that means that after this fight's over, there will be no one to start a new one for us. Go back in our history. It's been Israel and specifically Netanyahu that has pushed us in most of our foreign conflicts since the early 90s. Remember, this man's been in charge through all those different presidents. He's the deep state of the Americas. He is the bureaucracy that's indefinite. We need that gone. And I hate to call for anyone's death. That's not that. But if he's already dead, then we have to look at the glass as half full. What are the benefits of a world without being strangled by Israel and Netanyahu? Because apparently we're all under their control. They run us to the point where we'll attack other nations and we'll strike first, which is not a normal thing we do. And there was no pretense. They didn't even tell us this time that there were weapons of mass destruction. They didn't lie and say, Iran just gassed a bunch of their people. Oh, Iran killed some protesters. Well, they were agitators and they were terrorists and they were trying to overthrow the government. You are supposed to kill them. See, that's what happens when there's a coup, right? If your coup is successful, you have to execute all the people that you remove from power. But if you fail, the people in power have to execute you because you understand how to overthrow the government. And that's something that you cannot allow when stability is the goal. And every society needs stability. Those people were trying to remove the government, make the country unstable, all because they want to be gay, all because they want to do OnlyFans, all because they feel like being a mother and a wife is slavery. Because why? The West is convinced you that just being a natural human, having a family is the worst thing on earth. We don't have families here in the West. The women here would love to put on a burqa and have a husband and some kids and move to another country because at least they'd have a family. You don't know how much you wish you had a family until the doctors inform you, well, you're too old to have kids anymore. And you're like, well, what have I been doing all these years? Oh yeah, I was doing porn because I thought I was liberating myself and not having a man or a husband. That's what they think freedom is for this minority in Iran. They're brainwashed by the left. If you look at the picture of the women who just ran from the facility and they basically broke away from Iran and they were like some soccer players. Look at the picture of them. They're all short-haired lesbians. They all want to just be gay. This is not anything political. They just want to be able to go out and fornicate and do what they want to do. And that's fine, but that's not that's not healthy for a stable society. A stable society needs people who are going to work, who are going to have kids, who are going to have families, who are going to support the economy. These are people that are never going to have children. They're gays. So they're not really a part of anything, especially not the future. And for a country that's been around 2,000 plus years, remember, yeah, it's Iran today, but it's still Persia. We're 250 years old and we're at a birth rate collapse. Our marriage rates have collapsed. We have no more families. There's no more new people being born. There, you go to one of the big cities. You'll see dogs everywhere. You won't see any kids. And you think that means we're superior than a society like Iran, where they still have men getting married and women having children? You think our society is superior? Then why are millions of us getting passports as men and going to other countries to have families if everything here is superior? I'll let you think about that for a second, but let's listen to this man.
You can see just behind me, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who has visited this place. This is one of the locations where a deadly attack took place. 9 people were killed, and there were, in fact, more than
Veronica, I'll be honest, I think he's dead.
25 people out here. You can see Netanyahu.
The media is not telling us that he's dead. The media is telling us that he's alive. And I don't trust the media because the media never can prove anything. There's no definite that Netanyahu's alive and well. And people just are saying that, but there's no proof. And that's my problem with these people.
Who, in fact, visiting this particular location out here.
I don't think that they have a bunker deep enough that could have protected Bibi. If he's going to be doing press conferences, he's going to have to resurface and put himself and be exposed. People assume that spies work one way. Yes, there are spies in Iran that told the Israelis and the Americans where the targets are for money. But there are still people who believe in Islam, who are sympathetic to the Muslim world, who are in Israel, who are sharing intelligence with Iran and other people in the Middle East. And they're telling you where the safe houses are and how they're 2 hours here, 2 hours there, and they're letting them know the schedule. They have spies in Israel as well. They could find out where Netanyahu is and where his bunkers are. Why do you think his family is in Miami and not in a bunker? The bunkers are not safe in real life. It's a false sense of safety. But really, a bunker is a tomb. If the blast is strong enough, then you're collapsing the probably the where the air has to come out, the filtration system that has to surface somewhere. If a bomb is hit and the stairway collapse, how do you get out? Or if the ceiling is hit, what if it collapses and you don't have air, oxygen, the water supply is cut off, or you're just in a bunker and there's no electricity because everything is damaged around it? It's not necessarily a guaranteed place for you to survive for very long. So no, the media is trying to convince us that he's alive. I'm telling you to start considering and asking you to be hypothetical. What would you do if Netanyahu was dead? That's where I'm at. And I've been here for about a week. And the only thing I keep seeing is stability and peace in the region and on earth. People have called Netanyahu the devil himself because he has literally celebrated murdering children for dozens of years. Why would you want a man like that to still be here if the goal is to protect children and to remove evil from the earth? If you want peace on earth, then the person who's starting the conflicts, wouldn't you want them gone? You can't blame Trump. Trump just became president again a year ago. Netanyahu's been the president for 30 years now plus? Can't blame Trump for that. But yeah, as far as I can tell, there is no more Netanyahu. And yeah, they're going to show you videos. They're going to want to tell you he's alive. And then eventually they're going to announce something happened. He died. They're going to say it was a heart attack. They're going to say he had cancer, but he's been gone. See, we're in a day and age now where somebody can be dead and you'll believe they're still alive because somebody who has access to their Twitter account is still typing tweets. Oh no, he just tweeted 5 hours ago. So you believe it. Someone, you know how many videos there are Netanyahu that have never been aired? They can just pull from that directory and post it, where he's just speaking of nebulous bullshit. And he can just like that video of him in a coffee shop. He's not even talking about current events. There's nothing about what's happening right now in the world. He's just talking in there doing an ad read. And you're thinking that's a proof of life. You're ridiculous. Proof of life is when you do what I'm doing. Hey, how you guys doing? This is Rico Limbaugh. Thank you for tuning in. The date is March 15th, the year of our Lord, 2026. I'm in Arizona, and it is 1:36 p.m. In this time zone. Now, this is how you do a proof of life. Someone gets on a microphone and they have a talk with you directly. Not, I have to go on a stadium and I speak about generalities. I'm never too specific, so you can never kind of pinpoint who or where I am or when. You have to do something like what I'm doing. This is how you know I'm here. You know this is a live broadcast. People that I've seen in the chat, someone said, oh, this is a pre-recorded broadcast. It is not. I literally just read to you the time and the place. I'm literally reading the comments. So, and you got to think about it. A lot of these AI companies are more advanced because a lot of them are based in Israel. A lot of this whole taking over humanity, a lot of that stuff is they're all Israel. They're all Zionist Israeli people behind it all. So they're going to have stuff that we don't know even exists or that is even possible. And if they use it on us to pretend that Netanyahu's still alive, you're not going to know the difference either way. So I'm taking it until he does a podcast like what I'm doing. The man is toast. Or he's in a hospital somewhere gravely injured. You know what I noticed about projection? They said the Ayatollah, the new Ayatollah, that he was gravely injured with his leg missing and he's hiding out somewhere. What if they're talking about Netanyahu? What if, because that's Netanyahu's prognosis, what's happened to him? What if that's what they're saying about the new Ayatollah? It wouldn't be the first time. It's called projection. Netanyahu is dead. You know what? The mustache man, if you think about it, he was free Palestine before it was cool. I mean, there's no way you can hate the mustache man, but then say free Palestine. You got to be morally consistent with the mission. So this is also someone saying that breaking news with the claims that Netanyahu's been eliminated by Iran. The rumor started after Israel's attempted to use the AI video last week showed Netanyahu with 6 fingers. And now after 7 days with 0 confirmed sightings of Netanyahu, he failed to show up at the Israeli State Mineral Council today. This is yesterday. This is the 14th.
Okay, this is getting good. Netanyahu's dead. We're gonna just throw it out there. The fucker's dead. You heard it here first. God bless Iran.
Well, no.
This is getting good.
No, technically you heard it here first. Go back on the videos. Look at the thumbnail I made. I got my own custom stuff. I have my own show. Rico Limbaugh. I'm the first that said it because I knew when they were already coming up with propaganda to show that he's alive, but he's not, and he's not doing the talking himself. Something was wrong. So you heard it here first, but let's continue. Let's see here.
Netanyahu's dead. We're gonna just throw it out there. The fucker's dead. You heard it here first. God bless Iran. Let's fucking go. So
now think about it. Do you see why we are saying God bless Iran? Iran is the lesser of the 2 evils. Israel, Iran. Who's getting us into fights every year? Is it Iran or Israel? Who are we giving billions of dollars to every year and we have no idea for what? Iran or Israel? I bet you Iran would probably open up their hospitals to American soldiers before Israel would, if we asked them. If we as Americans said, hey, we want to normalize relations with Iran, we have a ship that was damaged by some enemies. We need to pull into one of your ports for servicing and we need some medical care. Would you guys assist us? 1,000% Iran would assist us 100 years before Israel would. And that's because that's already been proven. Desert Storm, Afghanistan, the invasion of Iraq, they would never allow us to bring any of our GIs into their country for treatment. It's already been proven. So it's not even a question. I would rather normalize relationships with Iran over Israel.
Parody Jeff, you guys aren't following Parody Jeff, right? This is the account that
literally, why would they say death to America? And also, the Israelis say death to America also. Did you not know that? Do you not remember the dancing Israelis who were celebrating when our buildings came down on 9/11, you jackass? Did you forget that? Did you forget that the connections were there showing it was Israel heavily involved? Or how about when Netanyahu and Israel told us with 1,000% fact that fucking Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction and was going to use them against us? And how many of our soldiers fucking died because Israel and Netanyahu lied? But you mean to tell me some chants that say death to America are worse than people that are literally causing Americans to die? Fuck you. I'm so sick of you literally morally, what is it? Inconsistent morons who are just fucking like you guys are like a part, not even a part of a hive mind. You're just followers. You don't have your own identity. You don't have your own thoughts. You can't think for yourself. You're just like a cult. And then you branch off and you get on to the comments and you try to encourage people. No one's joining your cult here. We're going to be consistent and we're going to be accurate. Oh, they say death to America. Yeah, so does Israel. When Israel sees an American Christian, they spit on us. Watch the videos. Go look. Are you insane? No, these people don't have no idea what they're talking about, and they want to sit here and make these BS arguments. Get a life. Get a grip on reality. You're not in Kansas anymore. They're not our friends. If anything, Iran would be easier to deal with than Israel because Iran wouldn't have us in these entanglements every few months.
Laura Loomer used her connections within X to get deplatformed his original one. He's the one who makes the funny face, Loomer.
I don't know. I would join your code, Solo Rip. Do you have, what's your parking situation? As long as you guys are in charge of your parking, I'd consider it.
Absolute legend. You got to follow this dude. He goes by @ParodyJeffX. So give this man a follow. He says, breaking, Netanyahu absent from the latest state
Persia
military council. Very unusual. Everyone looks tense and uneasy. What's going on?
Hey, listen, Ibram, if you think I'm wrong, I'll put a link in the chat. You can come up and talk and explain to me why you're wrong. We'll have this debate and we'll talk to each other. We're men and we're both alive. Unlike Netanyahu, who will not fucking talk to you ever. He won't bring you on a stage. He can't prove that he's alive and he won't speak to you. But guess who will? Rico Limbaugh. Sit here with my glasses and my red MAGA hat and we will have a conversation. So don't be scared to come up and have this talk. Do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. It's like right there. If you're watching the video, just hit the subscribe button. I appreciate all the new subscribers. Like the video. Even if you don't like it, just click it. That way you can have a record that you were here. You can be notified when I go live again. These are conversations that everyone's not going to want to have to you. You know what I'm noticing about other content creators? They're talking to you. They're talking at you. They're not really talking to you. I want to talk to you. I want to engage with you. If I'm wrong about something, show me. Don't just say you're wrong. Say you're wrong because X, Y, Z. That way we can have a conversation. But I'm a big person in explaining yourself. You know, I remember when I was a kid, you start questioning adults and they're like, oh, I don't have to explain myself. And I fucking hated that. Like, you should explain yourself. You explain your reasoning. So that's why I make it a point to explain my reasoning. So that's why I'm here now. I'm going to be the adult that's going to explain to you guys how I'm getting to certain conclusions. So, all right, let's not get off track. Bibi didn't show up to this fucking this thing in Israel. Let's hear about it. I'm not going to interrupt this guy anymore until the very end. And I'm going to read the comments and I'm going to read the super chats. The super chats stick out. So if you guys want to do a small super chat, support the channel, support me, support my work. I do a lot. I have now I have thousands of videos on here, but I'm still a relatively new channel. I'm just pretty consistent. So support the channel, support the live. Let's listen to what he's saying about Bibi being liquidated.
So I had this video translated in English. I'll let you listen to these guys. Tell me what you think. How are you having in the middle of a war with your Security Council giving a press conference without your commander-in-chief? And we haven't seen Netanyahu in 7 or 8 days now.
And guess what? Fuck Ted Cruz. He will be primaried to fucking death. I'm sorry. Putting another country over God in America. I live in Texas. I'm in Arizona at the moment, but I live in Houston. There's no way in hell in Bible country where we can't even buy liquor on Sunday from a store because we believe in Christianity. How are you going to say that saying Christ is king is anti-Semitic? Boy, do you know how good that check must have been from Israel? And it must have been way better than that check he's getting being a congressman, but he will not be a congressman anymore. Anybody who will put a country over God. See, remember, it's God, country, family. Ted Cruz is putting a country over God. He is toast in America. So he was probably already planning on making his exit out of politics, but he will be just like that piece of shit, weird Neanderthal looking fucker, Al Green. He's going to be like that fucking ghetto, hot Cheeto eating princess bitch, Jasmine Crockett and the others. We are ousting all of these fake America first, these fake, these real communists, pieces of shit who don't believe in the America first movement. We're removing them from politics, starting with Texas. So yeah, Ted Cruz is on that to-do list. It will be done. I'm going to push for it personally. Like I pushed for Crockett, I'm pushing for Ted Cruz to be permanently removed.
And the entire internet's claiming that he's dead. This is the same man who came out to address the conspiracy theories that everybody was blaming Israel for the assassination of Charlie Kirk 10 minutes after the dude was dead. His body hadn't even fallen off the chair yet, and Netanyahu was holding a press conference in the middle of carpet bombing Gaza, in the middle of a war. So don't give me the crap that he can't and he shouldn't be here right now.
That's a good point. He was, even before Charlie Kirk was cold in the morgue, he's doing videos talking about how he had nothing to do with it. Okay, if you can do that, then why in the middle of a war right now where you guys are getting your asses, they're basically taking those little yarmulkes off their head and they're removing their asses and they're putting their asses in the yarmulke and they're throwing it like a fucking frisbee. If you can do that when Charlie Kirk gets killed, you should be able to talk to the Israeli people every single day and say, yeah, they're putting our asses in hats and they're frisbees, but the frisbee's really a boomerang and we're getting our asses back. Or say something clever. He's not able to do that. Why? Tell me what's strategic about Netanyahu going radio silent in the middle of a war he started. If somebody can explain to me why radio silence is a great idea right now, then maybe I'll give some credence to him still being alive and well.
Now, this is not normal. We haven't seen the dude. Well, last time I think we did see him there carrying him out under a white cloth on a body bag on a stretcher. You can only hope, right? Check this video out.
The global and regional struggle against Iran, which is being led by US President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, is now escalating and entering the decisive phase that will continue for as long as it is required. I commend President Trump for the severe blow the United States military delivered last night to the Iranian oil industry. This is the fitting response to the mining operations in Hormuz and the extortion attempts by the Iranian terror regime. The Israeli Air Force also continues a powerful wave of attacks in Tehran and throughout Iran. Iran is actively employing regional and global terror and extortion tactics in an attempt to deter both Israel and the United States from continuing their ongoing campaign, but is being met with powerful, unyielding, and uncompromising steel resolve.
Yeah, bullshit. Bullshit. And you know what, Trump? Anybody who knows Trump, I don't know if he's ever watched my content. Maybe, maybe not. But Trump, if you hear this good. We don't want to do war. We want to do business. We are in the fucking future. It's 2026. We don't need to fight with each other. We need a global economy. I hate using the word global. We just need a world economy, not a one world government. We need to maintain our sovereignty. There's nothing wrong with Iran wanting to stay Iran. Iran does not want to have their women sexualizing themselves ass naked on Instagram and banging themselves on OnlyFans. Iran wants to have a theocracy where they have a religion and they're able to practice their religion and their beliefs, and they're able to raise their families and have marriages in their own way. It is not our business as fucking Americans to tell people they need to live like us. They don't need to have Pepsis in their left hand and an AR-15 in their right hand and a fucking Dairy Queen and a Wendy's and a Shake Shack and a mall and fucking porn everywhere. They don't need that. Just because they don't want to live like us doesn't mean they shouldn't exist. They should be able to exist and have their society the way they want to. If you live in that country, you don't agree with that way of life, and you want to be gay, then move to Canada. Don't go and celebrate the Ayatollah being assassinated and then try to help a foreign government overthrow your current government, because now we got to execute you. Instead of getting yourself executed, leave. I tell black people that in the United States. You hate America, you hate Trump. Move to Africa. Why the fuck are you, if America's enslaving you and you're oppressed and you're so marginalized and you're so unhappy, there's no fascism because we have airports. A fascistic regime, a fascistic country, you're not allowed to escape. You can go to an airport and escape to somewhere where they look like you, they're governed by people like you. You can have our identity politics in Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana. Leave. But don't expect it here. You don't have to die trying to fight ICE. Don't die fighting our law enforcement. Don't die fighting our laws. Just find another country that laws you can respect and go live under those laws. Everybody should be able to have that choice to move which place fits their lifestyle and their beliefs the best. Every country is not going to be compatible with people that want to be gay and mess with children. Every country is not going to be compatible with people who want to be able to steal without going to jail and commit crimes indefinitely. The United States is not a country compatible with that. Everybody should be able to keep their own identity as a nation, and you can be able to choose where you want to live as a person. We should not have the right to say, oh, I don't like how their regime treats their people. It's not your business. Their people in their country don't like how we treat our own people. They don't agree with us. We don't agree with them, but they don't have to agree with us, and vice versa. That's what the point of being independent and free, that's what it means. That's what sovereignty is. It's self-determination. So it's not our job to go over there and nation build and regime change. That's bullshit. That's bull. And honestly, we will get along a lot better if these countries have resources that we can do business with. Just like we're doing with Venezuela, we could literally work with Iran. We could work with Russia. We're already working with China. We don't do shit with Israel. We don't get anything from Israel. There's no net benefit of dealing with Israel. It's like the same GDP of Estonia. Like, it's pointless. We don't need anything from Israel. They're not doing business. They're trying to bully their way into the world, into being a key player in the world, not because they're offering anything of any substance. They only export war. That's it. I'd rather get along with Iran than have a country like Israel that's always getting us into fights. I'm sick of these foreign entanglements. I want to do business, but it's hard to do business if we are always at war with each other. It's bullshit. We want to work. People want to do business. We don't want to fight. Shit, we're in the future. You know how much cool shit there is to do right now? If you die in a war or in a fight, you know how much stuff you get to miss out on? Fucking life is great. We got all kinds of cool ass technology. None of this shit is worth it. So if somebody can tell Trump, tell him that to cancel ties with Israel and let's try to normalize relationships with these other countries. That way we can do business with them. Because this whole dying for Israel thing is obviously a fucking horrible idea.
Netanyahu is dead. You have some random dude that nobody's ever heard of, like, Ben Grivi, who the head of Mossad, who steps in and fills Netanyahu's shoes, who has control over all the politicians. And what about all that blackmail, all the blackmail that was all sitting in the bunkers in Tehran?
Yeah, and that's true. Like I said, they're putting people you've never heard of. It's not like Netanyahu's been bringing certain people to press conferences and he's like, yeah, this is my second in command. If I'm ever busy, talk to him. These are people we've never heard of, and now they're speaking on behalf of Israel and Netanyahu. Why? Why can't Netanyahu speak for himself? That's what I'm saying. What they're saying about the other Ayatollah, oh, he's not on TV talking. He must be injured. He had to do okay, the same thing could be said about fucking Netanyahu. Exact same thing.
They're carrying him out under a white cloth on a body bag on a stretcher. You can only hope, right? Check this video out.
The global and regional struggle against...
Yeah, they're going to put Biden as Bibi. I don't know. Biden's a little too tall. I mean, they had Jim Carrey playing Biden, but now Jim Carrey's gone. So I don't know. Those are a role of a lifetime, but all money isn't good money, obviously.
It's Iran, which is being led by US President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin.
No, Iran doesn't want to kill us. Israel does. Israel wants to kill everybody. Remember, they call you a goyim because you are. You're an idiot. The fact that you're not, okay, yes or no, Mitchell Smith, do you understand that the Israelis they call you a goyim. Do you understand that? Yes or no? If you can't reconcile that fact, then we can't really go any further in the conversation. Let's get some things straight. You are goyim. You are not an equal to an Israeli. You're not their fucking friend. You're their pet. You're not even their dog. You're their gopher. Okay, you're a pet gopher. They like their dogs better than they like gophers. So you're a goyim. Know your role. Don't sit up here and defend the Israeli. They're not your friends. They don't even see you as a person. They see you as a pet. You're a goyim. Look that up, and if you can reconcile that fact and say, yes, I am a goyim, but then I'll listen to you. But until you can understand that, and then we don't have nothing to talk about.
Netanyahu is now escalating and entering the decisive phase that will continue for as long as it is required. I commend President Trump for the severe blow.
Look at this guy's face. Does he look like somebody who's confident? Does he look like someone who's reassured? Does he look like somebody who feels like they are going to survive? He looks like a man that's waiting to hear that he's about to be sentenced to death by a firing squad and he's about to be convicted. These people, they're wearing their emotions on their sleeve. They're not able to hide the fact that there's something wrong. You guys might want to be in denial about something happening to Benjamin Netanyahu, but these people in Israel are not. I'm not. And look at this man. He is definitely not. They're not sitting there looking confident or happy. They know something is wrong.
The United States military delivered last night to the Iranian oil industry. This is the fitting response to the mining operations in Hormuz and the extortion attempts by the Iranian terror regime. The Israeli Air Force also continues a powerful wave of attacks in Tehran and throughout Iran. Iran is actively employing regional and global terror and extortion tactics in an attempt to deter both Israel and the United States from continuing their ongoing campaign.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I appreciate you as being a new subscriber, Sarah. I will do what I can to impress you every single day. I read the news. Okay, I read the news because I want to stay up to date myself. So I might as well just read it out loud on camera and we can just all read it together because we're all dealing with this at once. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't prepared March 15th of 2020 because I didn't care about the news. I didn't pay attention to what's going on in the world. I didn't believe in the virus. The virus was fake, but I had no idea there was a whole scamdemic going to come behind it that would shut down my world in California for 3 years. I had no idea. And I was caught with my pants down and I lost a lot. I'm not going to ever let that happen again. I will stay up to date. So Sarah, me and you are going to stay up to date together. Thank you for subscribing. Any of my new subscribers, please talk to me in the chat. Let me know you're subscribing and I'll individually speak to you guys and we'll talk about the benefits of us staying up to date together. Because in a way, we are our own community. We find each other on the internet and then we go from there. But this is how you find people of like mind who are on the same page. And guess what? If what I'm saying doesn't apply, let it fly. No one's forcing you to be here. But if you see what I'm saying and you have these questions and you feel a certain way and you think you're going crazy, then you need someone like me to let you know that you're the sane one. It's everyone else that's going crazy. Subscribe to my channel and like the video. And then you'll stay up to date.
Being met with powerful, unyielding, and uncompromising steel resolve.
Netanyahu's dead. You have some random dude that nobody's ever heard of, like, Ben Grievy, who the head of Mossad, who steps in and fills Netanyahu.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. If Netanyahu's dead, Palestine is free. That's it. Palestine is free. For one thing, they're not going to be able to maintain the imprisonment of 1 million humans when their entire infrastructure is destroyed. They're not going to be able to do it. We needed this war because we need the free Palestinians. People are saying, well, those aren't your people. Why do you care? They're humans. They are my people. There's one race, the human race. They are a part of my race. I don't want to see anybody massively in fucking concentration camps in 2016. I don't want to see people enslaved. Why do you think I'm for deportations in America? When they have people working for slave labor, slave wages, you know, a lot of these employers, they'll tell you to work for a month and then on payday, they'll call immigration to come pick up all the illegals who are working for them. That's slavery. I don't want to see slavery no more. I'm done with it. So even if it benefits me, I used to hire illegals. I don't do it anymore. So I don't want to see enslavement in the United States. I don't want to see enslavement in Palestine. I don't want to see it in Africa. But in some places like Africa, that's kind of like the part of the human dynamic. It's the cradle of slavery. They love it down there. You know, regardless of what we think, we're gonna leave them out of the conversation. But China, I don't want to see the Uyghur slaves, even though I haven't ever seen a Uyghur slave. I've heard the stories, and I don't know if the stories are true or not. But as far as what I've heard, it's pretty bad. But I don't want to see it in Palestine. I don't want to see it anywhere. So that's why I'm against that. That's why I'm pro Israel being wiped, because I want to see those people be able to live their lives and leave. I mean, they're trapped there. They literally do measurements of how much nutrients to give someone so that they're just above starvation. Do you know how insane that is? They do a calorie count to know how much nourishment to give you per day so that you just don't die because it looks bad. Like, that's insane. We're allowing that to happen to people in other parts of the world while we're living over here with all of our beautiful luxuries, electricity, and I can go take a shit in the other room right now and I can flush a toilet and wash my hands and take a shower. That's luxury. Okay. But we have other people that are trapped in camps and being destroyed. No, the people that were destroying them are now getting their karma. You should all be celebrating, not just me.
Shoes. Who has control over all the politicians? And what about all that blackmail all the blackmail that was all sitting in the bunkers in Tehran? Because they wouldn't let that shit just nearly fall out. It was at Mossad headquarters, secured in their underground bunker, and probably only a handful of people in the world have ever had access to it. And Iran might have just blown that up. So how long before our politicians in Washington, D.C. are confident that blackmail is gone? Or maybe some rabbi in New York has it. I don't know. Sucks to be them. We out, peace.
They found the Mossad security bunker. They have spies that are in Israel working for Iran. They use their hypersonic unstoppable missiles, the bunker busters, and they've taken out the Mossad buildings, headquarters, and bunkers. There's a lot of blackmail in there that they had on politicians and Americans. And you know what? If that blackmail is eliminated along with the people doing the blackmailing, well, not just Palestine will be free, so will America. I think that's how they've been governing us. Yes, there are some talks that that Israel had the looking glass technology that Epstein developed in Zorro Ranch, where they were trying to see the future of the stock market. Ended up being able to see the future of events that are happening a few weeks out. And we want access to that. That's why you're able to see that there's Google searches before things happen in Israel and the United States, in Israel and in Washington, D.C., and then it happens a month later. We do have access to that technology. But furthermore, we also have a lot of blackmail on politicians, and that's why they are all beholden to Israel. But if we can get rid of that blackmail and that noose around them, that leash, well, then America and Palestine will both be free. So Netanyahu falling is two birds with one stone, if you think about it. Let's see here.
This has just come out from the Associated Press. This is incredible. Have been sending babies and other young children. Oh, hold on. Oh. Put up the graphic of this.
They're not going to be able to maintain the infrastructure of these prisons and these camps. They're not going to be able to do it. And with their leader gone, I wonder where they're going to disperse to, because there won't be any more Israel. So are they going to go back to Europe? Are they going to go to Russia? Or are we going to give them an American state? Maybe Southeast Arkansas will be the new Israel, and they will be able to rebuild their society there in America, protected. what happens to them after Israel is deleted? There won't be any more. I'm wondering how soon before the Egyptians join Iran. Everyone's just waiting to pounce on Israel. Even the Saudis. Even the Saudis are thinking we were better off being allies with Iran than the Americans. The Americans still would have bought oil from us. We don't have to be aligned with them, but we were better off being strategic partners with Iran. They didn't have any idea how powerful Iran was. The fact that Iran could survive an onslaught from not just the Americans, but from the Israelis for more than 12 hours is insane. It's already been 15 days. Impressive. Actually, it's been more than that. They're saying this is leaked footage of Netanyahu. I mean, yeah, it could be fake. It's probably fake, but I mean, it's a representation. It's a reenactment. I mean, these buildings are being turned to dust. They're not as secure as they were, and they heavily underestimated the Iranian response. And the response, it might not even just be Iran, but it could be the Russians wearing Iranian uniforms. It could be the Chinese wearing Iranian uniforms. The same way all of fucking NATO have been in the Ukraine wearing Ukrainian uniforms, fighting the Russians. You know, it's crazy. The things that make you laugh will make you cry. It's karma. It's the same thing, but now someone's doing it against us. The same thing we did to them. That's why if we lose this fight, we'll be reluctant and we'll be hesitant to get into another one. That right there, that's a deterrent in itself that will increase the odds of peace lasting even longer than the guesstimate that I gave of 10 to 15 years. If Netanyahu is gone. Benjamin, I am your father. I believe it. Yeah, this is AI, obviously. Or is it? I mean, they worship Baal. So and that's the devil, basically. Yeah, and the interview they tried to show us that they were saying that was Netanyahu. It was an AI video, and he had 6 fingers. I'm trying to see if I can find that video. If Netanyahu is dead, his executioner likely wears a Star of David. Enter fucking resting. This was a theory that I had the other day. There are people who do not agree with Netanyahu, and they understood the only way to, they came up with the same conclusion I came up with. If you want to save Israel, if you want world peace, if you want to remove the aspects of this Zionist regime that made Israel dangerous to the point where the world feels they need to be wiped from the map, then someone within the Israeli government who was close to Netanyahu was a spy who dropped the location for whoever it was that attacked were the Iranians who blew them up. Or when the attacks were started and he was pretending to be Netanyahu's security, he put one in the back of his head. So let's see what he said. They were saying the silence is emanating from Jerusalem is no longer merely political. It has become metaphysical. For over a week, the man who once dominated global airways with his baritone warnings of Persian doom has vanished into the digital and physical void. He's gone. He's gone. That is 6 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What they're trying to say was, I want to hear that. Goyim. That's what you are. You're Goyim. I am Goyim to them. I'm not their friend. I'm not their ally. That's why I don't even pretend to be. Yeah, it is AI. $680,000 dead, and you guys are hoping Netanyahu is still alive? Insanity. But you guys want to complain about Hitler 100 years ago, and the stories weren't even confirmed. But yet you're just glancing over all the death in Gaza that you've seen in your lifetime. just to complain about some alleged death that happened 3 generations ago that you weren't even a witness or alive for. Crazy. Yeah, this is not just me making this up. This is a general consensus about anyone who's not a part of the mainstream media apparatus. I'm a part of the media now. You know, the other day I was at a casino and someone recognized me and he was like, "Are you a YouTuber?" And I was like, "Get the fuck out of here." No one's ever called me a YouTuber. I'm just a guy that gets on here and complains and talks shit on the internet. I didn't think I was a YouTuber, but I guess I am a part of a media now because I read the news and I contribute to it. I give my own right-wing America First perspective. This being true, even if it's not true today, if it eventually becomes true, it doesn't get much more America First than this. Without Israel being in the way and us putting Israel first, we'll finally be able to put America first. There's no other country that we are beholden to in history the way we are beholden to Israel. I want to see that hold removed. Don't you? Don't you want to be free? Aren't you an American? Don't you want to see America free from the grasp of Israel? If you do, tell me in the chat. Someone said, fuck Palpatine. You mean the one from Star Wars? I guess. I mean, she was pretty hot. Who's an African American? You talking about me? I'm not African American. So you're on the wrong channel. There's an Elon Musk is an African American. I guess he has a page on X. You might want to go to his channel. He's an African American who complains about reparations. I'm not. So yeah, you might not want to confuse yourself. Just because I have brown skin. I mean, people I know in Sri Lanka are darker than me. So you telling me the Sri Lankan people are African Americans? Like you're an idiot. Like, that's not how it works, my friend. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to read all the comments. There's like a lot of them. So I'm sorry. I'm trying to get around to everybody. Seems I've already been blocked. Who blocked you? Was Netanyahu? Well, Netanyahu's eliminated. So he probably didn't block you. He just probably left you on red if you messaged him. But I don't think Netanyahu's gonna block you. I don't think his block finger works anymore. I think he's out of there. I don't think he's here anymore. I think he's gone. That comment said Palestine, not Palpatine. It looked like Palpatine, my friend. Name calling, that's really good. If we name call you, we get thrown out of your chat room, right? No, not at all. But the thing is, unless you're calling me a name that would be specific to my nation of origin, it wouldn't really be insulting. You just make yourself look like an idiot. So you would have to like figure out, I don't know, some terms or certain insults for my specific people, which would be rather difficult. So I mean, what are you gonna say? Banana boat? Like, I don't know. I was just in Mexico and it was a weird coincidence. I rode a banana boat. It was fun. So saying that I'm on a banana boat, it's actually not really an insult anymore. So you'd have to dig pretty deep to find something that would be insulting to someone like myself. But I mean, if you don't want to be in my chat, you can go join Netanyahu's chat. I'm sure he'll engage with you happily. But you're not forced to be here. But you can subscribe and you can like the video. I'd appreciate it. But I don't want you to feel forced. Okay, I don't want you to feel forced. Oh, look at this. Where's Netanyahu? I'm telling you, this was my concept a week ago. Where's Bibi? I was saying this March 2nd. So they're trying to find Bibi. If anybody knows where he is, please put out an APV. We're looking in all points bulletin. We're all looking for Bibi Netanyahu. Where is he? Where is he? He was injured when his brother died, when his home was bombed. They put him on a plane, was denied entry to a few countries. Germany took him under coma for a week and died. That's exactly what I said at the beginning of this video. The reason his plane went to Germany was because they needed the advanced American medical facilities. Unless you're in Ramstein or Kaiserslautern, Germany, you're very limited to you're going to get to an American grade medical facility, and he's wanted by the ICC, so he's not able even to go into certain countries without potentially being arrested. Therefore, he did go to Germany. Maybe he's the one who lost the leg and was in a coma, the way they said the new Ayatollah did, but really they were speaking about Netanyahu. I'm telling you, Trump and Pete Hegseth, I bet they're both relieved that Netanyahu is gone. I mean, having to kiss that guy's balls if you're not gay, I mean, that's definitely got to be a task. And think about it. They call you goyim. They call you goyim and you say, yes, sir. That's got to be uncomfortable for a straight man with kids. And they both have children. So now not having to, perform all those sex acts like a prisoner in a California jail, it's got to be liberating for us Americans. I mean, we can finally be free. Yes, Palestine will be free, but imagine America. Imagine turning on your news every day and Israel is not trying to get us to go invade some faraway country for no fucking reason. How liberating would that be for you? I know for me, it'd be very relieving. I'd be relieved. Trump is the American Netanyahu. Are you new to politics? I'm not new to politics. I'm just new to talking about politics. Most people just don't care enough to waste their time doing this. A lot of my friends are at Sunday Fun Day right now, getting drunk. And I could be there. I'm choosing to sit here and talk to you, Hugh, because you're gay. And I want to talk to the gays. I'm just joking, Hugh. Maybe you are, because you seem to be an asshole. So the term imperium means not Jewish, but it always used to be derogatory. I'll be honest, they call everything derogatory. They're like the blacks of the Middle East. Everything. They're offended by everything, ashamed of nothing. So you really can't take them seriously. The key is to ignore them. That's the key. Sweet Chili, thank you very much for the encouragement. Being that I'm fairly self-absorbed, it's really hard to deter me anyway, but I do appreciate the compliments. I appreciate the insults also. Everyone's not going to agree with me. Everyone doesn't have to. I'm a man. Men don't really make friends anyway. People only like what you can provide. What I'm providing is an alternative perspective to the news. I'm doing a journalistic alternative that you can believe in. I'm not going to say anything that I don't personally believe. These people on television, they're paid to say things they don't believe every single day because that's the job. For me, this isn't a job. This is an option. If I wasn't doing this, I'd be at a dog park and then I'd be at one of these clubs over here in Scottsdale. But I'm here because I want to talk to my fellow Americans about tomorrow, because I have to still live in this country. Even after I go to bed tonight, I got to wake up. I'm still here in the States. We need to figure out what's going to be best for us going forward and how to mitigate some of the damage that's happening. We all work. We want our industries to continue. We don't want to be wiped out by AI. We don't want to be replaced by illegals. We want America to be for Americans. So we want our country to last the test of time, the way Persia has. And Iran is fighting to last the test of time. We want our country to be 2,000 years old as well. I would hope that's the goal. And if you're in my chat and you want to see America make it to 2,000 years, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and let's keep having this conversation. Lots of video of Netanyahu burning. A lot of people agree that it's not looking good for the beepster. You say you're a believer, like you're Justin Bieber. You're a beepster. You're a BB believer. Do you believe BB is alive? I do not.
In flesh and blood. Here are a few very important points I want to make clear to the rest of the world. 1, I am alive and well. All reports of me being dead are fake news. 2, we are winning this war. Let there be no doubt about it. 3, the days of Iran are counted. 4, I am not the president of the United States of America. 5, we will continue this war until the threat has been abolished completely and without a doubt. 6, we must now stand united and strong in this fight for peace and democracy. And 7, beware of false claims and fake news. They are everywhere. As I stand here before you.
Oh, man, he made a lot of good claims. I think number 6 or number 7 were my favorites, actually. Yeah, this guy is cooked. He's gone. Please, God, let this happen because it would be so fucking based. That's how I feel. Literally, listen, I made my first video. Everybody was saying, you're wrong. He's not dead, blah, blah, blah. And you know what I did? I didn't make another video for another 4 days about it. I stopped talking about it. And I just said, I'm going to give it time, right? Because everyone's like, oh, you're going to wake up tomorrow. He's going to be at a press conference. Blah, 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 blah. Where the fuck? Over 10 days later now, 12, 13 days. No sign, no confirmed signs of life. I've seen videos, but none of him talking about modern current events. I seen him at a fucking coffee shop in heaven. That's how nice that coffee shop looked. It like he was in heaven somewhere. And I'm like, oh, wow, where the fuck is he? It was like a very calm place. It's all bullshit. We want peace on earth. This is the closest we've ever came to achieving that goal right now. If you agree, like in the video, subscribe to the channel. Man, God willing. I'm alive, bitches. And he has his feet as hands, and there's 10 fingers, 5 toes on each finger hand. Let's see here. Yeah, if this turns out to be true, then we're good. Look at right here, Epstein and Netanyahu. Epstein, I don't think is dead. I'm pretty sure he's not. He's a little too smart to be dead. People with that level of intellect don't die. They make arrangements. And then Epstein was way more valuable than Netanyahu. I mean, don't forget, Epstein could see the future. So he's more valuable alive than dead. Man, a lot of people agree with us. A lot of people agree with us. They're saying Netanyahu's alive and well. He's currently meeting Shinzo Abe to discuss increased trade cooperation. Yeah, seems legit. We all know where Shinzo is. So this is hilarious. Wow. Yeah, Netanyahu is cooked. Yeah, he's done. He's all the way cooked. His house destroyed. The French are announcing it. Everyone's talking about it.
However, Israel just released a video of him giving a speech, but it looks super AI. First, today, this video that's come out is Netanyahu's first official speech since the war began with Iran. Now, before I get to people calling it AI, I'll tell you what he said in this speech first. This is actually the first time he's been heard from in weeks. Now, this comes at the same time there's many reports Netanyahu has been killed, but he said in his speech that Israel is, quote, stronger than ever before. He also said, quote, Iran is no longer the same Iran, which is true. There's now new leadership there. Now, on the topic of new leadership, Iran's new supreme leader,
Well, if he died because of Trump, then Trump's definitely getting a third fucking term from me. I don't care what you say. Trump. I mean, Trump has to take credit for saving the world. He saved it from Bibi. We got to give Trump a little bit of credit. You know, I mean, we got to give Trump a little bit of credit if this is the case. I agree with you.
Netanyahu might have been killed. However, Israel just released a video of him giving a speech, but it looks super AI. First, today, this video that's come out is Netanyahu's first official speech since the war began with Iran. Now, before I get to people calling it AI, I'll tell you what he said in this speech today. It comes at the same time there are many reports of Netanyahu being killed, along with his brother, Ben Gvir, etc. And a lot of you have been asking me to give my opinion on what I believe has happened. And I'm probably going to annoy a lot of you by saying this, but I think you're all wrong. I don't think Netanyahu is dead. I think he's alive. And this speech that was...
Hugh, you're taking this way too personally. I accidentally called you a gay Jew. Wasn't actually planning on it. Your name, it just Hugh and Jew, they rhyme. So it was an accident. But I'm not a black, so I don't, and I'm not a Republican. I'm MAGA, if anything. I'm America first. I'm America only. And Republicans are not either of those. So you're wrong with all three of your assumptions, my friend. Back to the drawing board you go. Or whatever gay Jews draw on. It could be a board. It could be a rainbow flag. It could be on maybe the back of one of Gavin Newsom's boyfriends. It could be wherever you guys draw stuff. You got to go back there and try again, my friend.
Released today, there is some evidence to suggest that he might have been seen with 6 fingers once in the 10-minute speech, and that's why people think it's AI. Truthfully, I think it's a lie. I think Netanyahu is alive. I just think he's been busy fighting or doing whatever. Of course, it's very unusual why he has not appeared in public in the last week. However, during a war, we don't know. Maybe he was in a different country. There were...
Yeah, you shouldn't be in a different country during a war. You should be at home. And these are the guys that are supposed to pretend to be confident.
You can run, but you know it's ending.
Not sure what happened, but the members of the Israeli Military Council seem very shaken by something. I don't know if you guys here believe in reading body language, but for those of you who do, what do the Israeli Military Council, what is their body language saying to you? So let's watch this video for a second, and you guys tell me what you think their body language is saying. And remember, Netanyahu takes all the spotlight for the past, 30 years of Israel. He's the only person you recognize, really, besides Ben Gvir or whatever, and Ben Shapiro. They're all named fucking Ben. But anyway, you don't really see anybody besides Netanyahu. Now you got all these new faces that are not used to being on camera. Why are they on camera with this type of body language in this mood? There's a disturbance in the force. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. I think something is wrong. And wrong for them means something is right for us. And I've explained to you the benefits, and we can go over those again. But let's keep going. U.S. Treasury Secretary Bennett pulled away from live, said the president wants to talk about something. He was noticeably shaken. I think this is when they start finding out Netanyahu is gone. And they are down.
Surely, Mr. Secretary.
And we all know how secretive the Americans are. They're not going to announce and tell you anything up front, but we can all tell something's wrong. Let's see here.
I listened to you on the...
Sorry.
Okay. No problem at all. See you shortly, Mr. Secretary.
You can work that in.
Mr. Secretary, I have to say, it's a first, I'm sure a last as well.
So he's been gone for an hour and a half, and he just came back. He left at 10:22. It's now right after noon, and he just returned, and he's a little different.
That an interviewee's been pulled away to go to the Situation Room. How's the president? Was he stressed?
No, the president is in great spirits. The Iranian mission is proceeding well ahead of schedule. And I have to tell you, that I have a teenager who's considering military service. And I could give this team my highest compliment, from President Trump to the head of the Joint Chiefs to the Secretary of War. I would say that I would trust my child's life in their hands.
Yeah, they're talking about a draft and no one's going to support sending their kids to fucking die for Israel. A lot of blacks and gays are going to send their kids over there. A lot of gay kids, a lot of black kids are going to go die for Israel. But regular Americans will not be sent there because we need them to survive. But the expendable ones, the ones that the military and the government already wants to purge, I mean, they'll be sent over there in a pointless war, but we've already lost. So there's nothing to win anymore anyway. I mean, what does a victory even look like? We didn't win in Vietnam, but a lot of blacks and gays went down there and were killed. So, they know what they're doing when they're sending certain people into certain places. We got to understand that. Oh, yeah. Netanyahu, let's hear.
The last night, when Iran killed David Bernier, head of Mossad, so David had a meeting with Netanyahu. So I am asking myself this question, or any person can ask. If the David got murdered with ballistic missiles, so where is the Netanyahu? So the clear news, Netanyahu is dead. And today, the Israeli government showing a footage of Netanyahu having a meeting. Or the footage, or AI footage, or there is a fake Netanyahu. Netanyahu is gone.
So what they're saying is that David Bernia, the head of Mossad, who they've admitted was killed by a ballistic missile, they said the missile hit during a meeting with Netanyahu. So, well, then how did Netanyahu not get killed? The dude is gone. And this is on March 10th. Like I said, he's been gone. There are already videos where you can hear he's saying, we are in a protected place, but you heard the sirens. And then there's no more videos of Ned. No more big Yahoo. I used to love drinking Yahoos when I was a kid, those like chocolate milks. Man, no more Nets and no more Yahoos. What is this? Digging in his pocket for something. Probably looking for shekels. The smoking gun. Oh, this is the Erica Kirk stuff. We're going to get back on the Erica Kirk stuff too. I just wanted to talk about this whole BB being missing in action and then how sad this Israeli Security Council, because he's not at the meeting and he's the head of this council. I just want to just show you how sad all these men look. These are not men who are confident in what's going on or they feel reassured about what's happening. This is not that.
המאבק העולמי והאזורי מול איראן, אותו מובילים נשיא ארצות הברית דונלד טראמפ וראש ממשלת ישראל.
Especially this guy right here to the right of the man in the middle. Yeah, this fucker is like, we're cooked. He's like, we're cooked. We are so cooked. He knows that something is wrong. But that's, like you said, this is how a dictatorship behaves. They want to keep their figurehead on so that they can maintain power, but it's never going to be the same because the dictator absorbed all the power and he got rid of all of his enemies. Netanyahu doesn't really have any friends in the Israeli government that can supersede him. He got rid of all of his political enemies. He imprisoned his opponents or he had them killed. Jew Jordan, bro. Why? Listen, I don't think you're here for the right. If you want to talk about, like, I don't know, I think you're on the wrong. You might want to go to the BET. Do you know what BET stands for? Black Entertainment. You might want to go to the Black channel and go talk to black people. I don't know anything about black stuff. We're talking about Netanyahu. Exactly. This is what a dictatorship does, and they're already there. Soldiers want a pickup truck and a college degree. Yeah, that's it. And that's all. They don't care about the country. The ones who stayed in the military after the vaccine mandates, they were not in the military because they want to protect the country. They love the country. They want to serve the country. And they believe in the country. They were there because they wanted a pickup truck or a Camaro, and they wanted their college to be paid for by the GI Bill. They're using our country. They're not there to be used in service of our country. So because of that, they're not going to be effective. Also, all of the standards were dropped because a lot of the blacks and a lot of the gay kids could not pass the physical, nor could they pass the entry exams because they couldn't pass the test. Because like Gavin Newsom said, he's just like them. And they can score a 5 on an SAT when you get an 8 something for spelling your name correctly. Basically, they changed all the standards. So the infantry you think you're sending in there is not the infantry from the movie Full Metal Jacket. You're not going to get that. You're going to get RuPaul's Drag Race. And if that's what you want to send over there to die, I understand why. Now, this is 18 minutes long. We're only going to pass a little bit of it. Actually, no, that's too long. We're not going to watch that one. Yeah, they're saying he's gone already. And this is day 11. They said he died before the 10th. And Netanyahu died in the strikes. And they're not showing you this footage on any news channel in America. This is not AI. This is actually real. This is real. Yeah. Zionists fighting with Zionists because there are people that are protesting against the war because they wanted to stop because their homes are being destroyed. Their way of life is being destroyed. Breaking, IDF soldier attacks Netanyahu. He says, enough war. All my friends are dead. You know, Hexeth was right about something. War is hell. So when I see so many people that are cheering on the prospects of wars continuing, it just shows you how safe they are. They'll never fight in them. They'll send your kids to go. They'll advocate for your kids to go, but they won't go themselves. It's not, war is not like the movies. It's not like playing Fortnite or Halo. It's a little bit different. Netanyahu left instructions if he's assassinated. However, I don't think Bibi, yeah, sure you don't. Sex abuse. A lot of evidence that Netanyahu is gone.
Netanyahu. They killed his brother. They struck the home of Ben Gvir. He is seriously wounded, may not survive. Iran is going to start to take out the totality of Israel's leadership. This is the reality of this conflict. Israel played the regime change game. It's going to be the Israelis that are going to be paying the highest price. The Iranians are no longer wearing kid gloves. They've taken them off and they're coming in bare knuckle.
They're reporting it. This is interesting. I looked it up as soon as you said it. The BBC is reporting it as Ben Gvir was in a car accident last night.
Yeah, his car crashed into a fucking missile. But Ben Gvir is gone. Netanyahu is gone. And someone said, you lie, you don't know anything of this country, you bastard. My parents were married when I was born. I have a father. So you're only partly correct. But I actually do know about this country. So I know enough. So maybe you're a little off there, Steph. You know, I have a good friend named Stephanie. She's an asshole too, but you know what? Who cares? I kind of like people named Stephanie. MAGA, go in and support yourself. Well, I'm an American. This is an American war. It's not a MAGA war. So basically America's involved. And if you're not American, if you're not MAGA, then why are you in America? You might as well go to Cambodia or go find somewhere else. Blacks have been in every war. I wouldn't know, but I don't think that's true. And my family's not from this country. And I don't even know I don't know what a black is. They're not recognized by the UN, so I don't really know how to quantify what you're saying. It doesn't really apply to anything logical. It's just kind of like a very low IQ, unintelligent argument based on appearances and shallow, superficial nonsense. So I really wouldn't be able to talk to you about that. You got to go with Jew over to BET or the NAACP channel. Maybe they can make you feel good about how you look when you look in the mirror. But unfortunately, I won't be able to help you here, Steph.
Does that surprise you?
They can report it any way they want. We know that his home is on fire. Last night, the Iranians struck the home of Benjamin Netanyahu. They killed his brother. They struck the home of Ben Gvir. He is seriously wounded, may not survive. Iran is going to start to take out the totality of Israel's leadership. This is the reality of this conflict. Israel played the regime change game. It's going to be the Israelis that are going to be paying the highest price. The Iranians are...
And you know what that means? That means Iran could have done this at any time. They've had all this capability and all these missiles all these years, and they waited for the right time to finally defend themselves. Because remember, they didn't just attack. We attacked them first, but now they're not going to stop. And they have the capacity to remove and delete all of Israel's leadership. You know what the number one thing that they have to do, which is amazing, is this right here. I don't know if you guys know anything about this.
The physicist lived in New Mexico.
I don't know if you guys know anything about this right here, but it would be on. Actually, I was going to find it on YouTube.
Physicist lived in New Mexico and was very interested in what he was interested.
This right here. This is all they have to attack. This right here.
Thanks to the 5 desalination plants in Israel, Israeli faucets have water. We're standing here in the Solek desalination plant, which is the largest desalination plant, not only in Israel, but in the world. You were saying that 2 kilometers that way is the ocean, where the water comes into the plant and goes through multiple stages to eventually be used as potable drinking water.
We are actually cleaning the seawater on this area in order that the water that will face later on the membrane are completely clean and clear. We need that the water through that process of treatment will be completely clear in order that the membrane will not clog later on when we are pushing the water through that membrane in order to take out the salt from the water from the sea.
We have 5 major desalination plants in Israel.
5. All they have in Israel are 5 major desalination plants. All of their drinking water for 19 million people comes from 5 desalination plants. If they hit 3 out of 5 of those desalination plants, or if they hit all of them, Israel will be out of drinking water for years in about 4 days. They have about 4 days of reserves of water, but they will be completely without drinking water and no way to replace it for maybe 2 or 3 years, if there's enough peace without being bombed by Iran to ever rebuild or make repairs to these facilities. But the technology building those desalination plants is very time consuming, very specific. It's very advanced. So you're going to need stability and peace to do it. Israel will not exist if those desalination plants are targeted. And Iran, they've struck 15,000 targets in Israel thus far, all over in the Gulf state and in Israel, 15,000. They could have easily hit the desalination plants for all of these countries. They could have done it because these countries are all in the middle of the desert. They have to purify water from the ocean and from the rivers. I mean, not from the rivers, but from the oceans and from these salty. They have to do that to survive. Iran, if they wanted to win, they could just do that. But they didn't because they were hoping for a better off-ramp. But I'll be honest, I think that's what's coming up next. That'll be more devastating than dropping a nuke. Even though the nukes are fake, there are no nukes. Desalination plants are war crimes. But what the fuck's a war crime? We're already at war. Everything's a crime. There are no crimes. So again, Iran could easily destroy Israel. I believe they have an underground water source. Israel does not. So
no longer.
Like I said.
זה חיוני כדי להמשיך הלאה. המרפא ומאפשר ריכוז ויציאות. כך נשיג את הצעה המושלמת. לצאת להתעורר אבל יד.
Whoever is managing the Iranian page is top tier trolling.
When. They stop crying. Yeah.
And this is just going over all the evil things that they've said about Ben Gvir said about the Palestinians. And now he is met the same fate as his enemies. And Hezbollah Hezbollah and Iran are really making a lot of progress in Israel. I'm shocked, but I'm impressed at the same time. More footage you're not going to see on the news. Yeah, you see the chaos, you see the turmoil. This is a side effect of not hearing from your fucking leader for 2 weeks in the middle of a war. They're afraid. They're scared. They feel something's different this time. It's because he's gone and the people around him and the government are still lying to them about his whereabouts. Even if he's not alive, he's doing just as much damage by not speaking to his people, which is, well, why aren't you speaking to your people? Talk to them. Reassure them. Make them increase the stability. Show them that there's going to be a tomorrow. What are you afraid of? He's leaving them hanging. You think he's doing it on purpose? These people are freaking the fuck out because their leader is gone. This is how you act when there's a lack of leadership if you are not your own leader, if you are not a leader yourself. If you depended on somebody else to tell you what to do as a man forever, then this is how you're going to behave. But they're scared. They're very afraid. Yeah, this Netanyahu was some bullshit. Huckabee Embassy announced they will not be assisting Americans getting out of Israel. Trump is getting Netanyahu the blood sacrifice he's been salivating for. Now, this is from the Third. This is from the Third. The Yair Netanyahu show. What the hell? America First podcast. Israel will kill him. This is crazy. "23 hours ago.
Security. That is exactly what happened here. Iranian outlets moved quickly to connect missile activity, heighten security, and reduce visibility into one dramatic narrative. The message they pushed was not subtle. It was designed to suggest that a major shift had taken place at the very top of Israel's leadership during the conflict. Iranian state-aligned channels framed the strikes as highly precise and presented the silence as indirect evidence that something significant had happened. That is exactly what happened here.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think we all kind of get the picture now. Netanyahu is gone, and he will not be making a dramatic return. More accurate. I'll be honest. This makes more sense than believing he survived everything else. This makes more sense to me, actually. It's a nice tie he's wearing. I'm always impressed by his tie. Do me a favor, like the video, subscribe. Everyone's talking about this.
They're dead or in a coma. This is a claim that's been... Is Netanyahu dead? Rumors are flying online that Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is either dead or in a coma. This is a claim that's been blasting through social platforms today. And tonight, we can tell you it's a very real possibility that Netanyahu was killed in a missile strike. Let's talk about what we know. First of all, Netanyahu had an in-person meeting this week with a U.S. envoy, and that meeting was canceled at the last minute. That means nothing on its own, right? But in reality, Netanyahu has not made any public appearances all week long until last night when a video address to Israel was posted online. Here's the problem with that. That video address became a huge piece of evidence that something is very wrong. Look at the video. It's clearly AI. At one point, Netanyahu has 6 fingers and then back to 5. Also, at another point in the video, some of his teeth disappear. Then they reappear. The video is clearly AI. It's not Netanyahu. But there's more. Because late today, reports that the official office of the Prime Minister account on X posted this tweet before removing it. And that tweet reads like this, quote, rumors circulating on social media about PM Benjamin Netanyahu's status are unconfirmed. What does that mean? Unconfirmed? We urge citizens to rely on verified updates. Efforts are underway to establish contact. PM Netanyahu remains committed to Israel's security. Again, that tweet was later deleted, but again, it's not evidence on its own that he's dead, but it's certainly very strange. Again, saying that these reports are unconfirmed. And then there's another situation that might be related. We don't know yet, but in a shocking moment just hours ago, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent was pulled out of an interview because the president needed to speak with him urgently in the Situation Room. Watch the way Bessent can't find his words when he comes back.
Okay. No problem at all. See you shortly, Mr. Secretary. Mr. Secretary, I have to say, it's a first, I'm sure a last as well, that an interviewee's been pulled away to go to the Situation Room. How was the president? Was he stressed?
No, the president is in great spirits. The Iranian mission is proceeding well ahead of schedule. And I have to tell you, that I have a teenager who's considering military service.
Again, evidence on its own that Netanyahu's dead? Absolutely not. But all of this taken together, and it is a story definitely worth watching very carefully.
I absolutely agree. We're going to watch this story carefully together. I actually am going to have lunch right now. I'm going to eat chicken and hummus in light of what's happening with Netanyahu and Iran. I'm going to go ahead and order me some, I'm going to cook it. So I'll be back on in about 30 minutes with another topic. Do me a favor. If you can, come over to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, Rico Limbaugh, like the video. I appreciate you guys all for being here. Whether good, bad, or ugly in the comments, thank you all for being here. Yeah, this was a great conversation. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the Cash App donations. If you appreciate my work, thank you for the support. If you appreciate me coming here and having a talk with you guys and us going over these facts about what's going on with Bibi, again, like the channel, hit the subscribe bell so you can be up to date when I'm doing more videos. And I love your input, and we can just all figure out what the hell's going on together. I'll be back on about 20 minutes. Remember, it's America first and America only.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.